At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too. Because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Krueger from Weather NorCal. It is Monday, June 17th, right at 7 o'clock in the morning here on this Monday morning. You get you started off for your work week. Well, of course, the big news over the last 24 hours has unfortunately been some fire news. Of course, we've been hearing about the hidden fire, which is basically to the south of the lake, of Lake Shasta, right? And to the north and east of Redding, northeast of the city of Shasta Lake, kind of the Bear Mountain Road area. This has been something that has obviously created some concern for some local residents in the area because there are evacuation orders that were in place since yesterday evening, have been in place all night, and are still in place this morning. So tell you what, here's what I want to do this morning. We're going to start off by going into a fairly deep dive into, as deep as I can go with the information that I have. And we're going to talk about the hidden fire, where it is, where the latest and best information we can get on the fire perimeter is, and what we're dealing here with the fire in general, and what's going on with the current conditions, the winds, the humidity, all of that. So let's get you into looking at the map. Now this is coming in from Watch Duty that we're looking at here. So there's going to be times going to be going back and forth between the weather wall and, of course, kind of controlling the computer. So you've got the hidden fire right here. Here's the city of Shasta Lake. Here's I-5. Here's the lake itself, right? And there's Redding. So the fire is right here. So I just wanted to show you where you see red is where there's an evacuation order. That means you've got to be gone. You've got to be out of there, right? Yellow is where there's an evacuation warning. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Oh, by the way, also, I want to mention that there is a shelter for those of you that have the evacuation order, the Red Cross shelter at Bella Vista Elementary School. All right, so just want you to be aware of that in case you didn't know where you can go if you are kind of in this evacuation warning. All right, so we're going to zoom in here a bit tighter, and we're going to show you, first of all, where the evacuation orders are. So you can see right here, here's a look at Dry Creek Road right here. So east of Dry Creek Road, we've got quite a community here, a lot of homes in this area right here that are under the evacuation order. You head to the west of Dry Creek Road, and there you can see this is where we do have more of the evacuation orders. Now, that being said, there aren't as many homes, especially kind of off in this area here. Now you head to the north, and there you can see here's the lake, right? This is where we have the evacuation warnings. So if you live in these areas, just be prepared and be ready to go at a moment's notice because of that fire. Looks like it has mainly kind of spread to the north. All right, so what we're going to do now, we'll zoom in a little bit tighter, take a look at some of the roads in this area. So again, where we're seeing most of course, the homes is east of Bear Mountain Road and Dry Creek Road. Okay, so you can see all right here. This is where we have most of the homes right now. It's kind of hard for me to see. I'm going to kind of go over here. You've got Backbone Road, you've got Lemoyne Road, and Ravine Road. So yeah, Backbone Road is right here. There's Ravine Road right here. So again, these are all of the homes in that area here. To the west of that, there are homes, right? Just not as many. And then, of course, as you head northward. And there you can see that looks like about where that fire started, which looks to be just to the west of Ranger Court there and around the Bear Mountain Road area. So we kind of take it up north here. And what we're seeing here, this is the preliminary fire perimeter for that fire. Okay, so this is nothing that has been, they haven't looked at this and mapped it out. This is coming in from the aircraft, right? And they've got that heat sensing, and they can do all of that and kind of get a general idea of where that fire perimeter is. So you can see it goes down from Bear Mountain Road and then kind of hops over to the east side of Bear Mountain Road, making its way closer to the Lower Jones Valley Campground and the Upper Jones Valley Campground, where we're seeing Whiskey Town. So it looks like that's the Jones Valley Road. Of course, and eventually this turns into Silverthorne Road as well. So again, this is some fairly old data, and I say that because what I'm going to do now is we're going to click on some of the information coming in. Now, unfortunately, it's been updated 5 hours ago, and 5 hours ago, it was reported that no additional updates had been received. And of course, the watch duty reporters continue to monitor the incident through the night. So 11 hours ago, this is what was coming in from CAL FIRE. The hidden fire incident in Jones Valley area was mapped by Sensory Aircraft at 45 acres with 25% containment. Multiple ground and air resources are actively working on the hidden incident to protect structures and fight the fire. Firefighters will continue their efforts throughout the evening and overnight. So that's really the latest information that we've got coming in from CAL FIRE. We have nothing new coming in at this point. So once that does, I'll of course post that on social media, and if there's anything of immediate response or something that is very important, and something kind of flares up with the fire, I'll of course be here on and do weather updates for you. Be sure to make sure that you've got the notification set on your phone for the Weather NorCal app, because if I do an update for the fire, I will be sending out a push notification so you know to tune in and watch the latest on the actual fire itself. So that's what's going on coming from watch duty. What I wanted to do now is show you the activity. This is looking from the last 24 hours. So yesterday afternoon, evening, you'll see the plume of smoke and a pretty impressive one developed right there. You can kind of see that's coming in from the cameras. Then overnight, no smoke, and really not even seeing any orange glow. I want to show you this because this also shows you, take you back in time. Oh, bummer. Looks like it's not updating. Let's take you back with a few more images. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this. It might take a little bit of time. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So there you can see, and it's kind of hard to see. I'm going to stop this here. Hold on one sec. Here we go, right here. So this is an image from space, and what it's doing is this particular bandwidth of the satellite imagery, what it does is it detects heat signatures. This is, of course, the hidden fire that we're looking at right here. This was yesterday evening that we're looking at that heat signature. So it was, flaring up. It was big enough and large enough and hot enough for the satellite to pick up on a heat signature. But as we go into the overnight hours, look what happens. We lose that heat signature. Now, what that tells us is the fire at that point not burning as hot, not burning as big, and that is a great sign when we're talking about that fire. Now, that's really, for the most part, what we're getting in from the latest on the fire. I do want to remind you that at weathernorcal.com, I've got a great, I put together all the best resources for you. I put them all in one place. So all you have to do is go to weathernorcal.com, click on this map right here where you see the fires. It says fire danger. You click on that. What it's going to start off with is showing you where the fires are. It's got the Watch Duty app. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. People are telling me, like, why are you telling people to go away from your website, blah, 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 right? Here's the thing. Once Watch Duty started, even when they first started, they very quickly became the best, without a doubt, the best resource when it comes to up-to-the-minute information about any current fires that start. And of course, any fires that have been ongoing. They have these inside sources and they use those sources to give you the information you want. So I've made an easy link for you to just check out Watch Duty from my website. You can see it's very much interactive here. You click on this section, that'll give you just the map. You can also click on the actual fire. Now when you zoom out, what will happen is, you see that list on the right side that gets bigger because now you're seeing more fires on the map. So it only will give you a list on fires that you're interested in. So the hidden fire right here, you click on that, then what it does is it gives you all the information from beginning of the fire to the current and latest data that they've got coming in. And it also has the evacuation orders, the warnings, any notes from Genesis evacuation map. Again, they got links to take you to there. They show you images from the fire, from the cameras. So this, again, is a great resource. Now, if you want more information just about fire weather, are we in elevated fire risk? You can see that we are here for today. You can scroll down here. This is another resource. So you can see, oh, it looks like on Monday, today, we've got some orange indicating a high risk trigger is a W, which means it's wind, which I'm going to talk about that here a little bit later. You can also see that there is a red flag warning in the area. You can also take a look at what once was, and I probably need to update this, but it's now the Genesis project. And this is where you can go to find out if you have an evacuation in your area from the fires. This is also the CAL FIRE page right here. You can also go here. Now, I want to remind you that this image that you see on the website is not an image of the current public outages. You click on it. You click on View Outage Map. You click Continue. You can enter an address and all that. And then you can zoom in, and you can see there are some power outages where basically the hidden fire is in that general area here. So that kind of gives you an idea. So I just wanted to give you an update that there is a great resource for you right here at weathernorcal.com with all of the information that you need. And of course, at the very bottom, you can check out the Office of Emergency Services by county. And of course, it covers all of the neighborhoods in the area and all the counties in the area as well. So I highly encourage you to come over here to check it out because it's your one-stop shop for fire information, and you don't have to go looking at different resources and different bookmarks and the works. So I would encourage you to go there to check that out. Okay, so this morning, let's go ahead and take a look at the current conditions out there right now. And you can see we're sitting at about 63 degrees for Redding right now, 62 in Red Bluff. So temperatures are dropping. We're starting off with those cooler temperatures. We're in the 40s for many of the higher elevations. Visibility is looking pretty good. In fact, we take a look at the camera out at Elk Country, just north of Trinidad, looking absolutely gorgeous there. We take you out to the latest image coming out in Del Norte County. This is out in Crescent City at the Crescent City Harbor District. Look at that. They've got beautiful blue sunny skies out there as well. We'll take you back to the camera out at Elk Country just to show, are there any elk out there? Sometimes you get a little lucky and we can see some elk, but unfortunately this morning, that's not necessarily the case. So again, we take you back to the visibility map and it looks pretty good up and down the coast. So out the door this morning at 8 o'clock as you're heading out, maybe heading out to work, you can see temperatures are going to be about 60 degrees in the valley. So yes, it's going to be a coolish start to the day. Great morning for that morning walk, but even in the afternoon, it won't be too terribly hot. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 40s here for many of the higher elevations and of course around the coast. Temperatures around 50. Here's your fire outlook for today. It is elevated. This is coming in from the National Weather Service, and they basically take a look at all of the conditions and say, here's our current situation for today. And they've got it in the elevated, which is in the low category, but that is still something we need to keep a close eye on. Now, we are hearing about the red flag warning and how it's been extended throughout the weekend. You know, when I was reporting on it on Friday, it was through Sunday. I think it was actually through Sunday morning. Then, of course, the next day on Saturday, it got extended into Monday. Then yesterday, they extended it into Tuesday. And here's the reason why. They look at a couple of things. Number one, if you have low humidity of 15% or less with frequent gusty winds of 25 miles per hour or higher, then you can have a red flag warning. Now, both of those, working together must occur for at least 3 hours in a 24-hour period. Now, on a separate category is you can have, if there's scattered thunderstorms in the area, a 15% or more of coverage area. Now, that's typically during this time of the year when we start seeing the drier conditions. That's not the concern. We're not concerned about thunderstorms and dry lightning. We're concerned about category number 1 right there, and that's the humidity and the very windy conditions out there. So that's why we have the red flag warning until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Look at the winds. Sustained out of the north at 15 to 20 miles per hour, gusts 25 to 35 miles per hour, humidity down into the single digits and in the teens. So we look at the winds right now, they're getting pretty gusty in some areas. Not so bad at the Reading Airport, but they are a little gusty in some areas, as we're already starting to see this morning. So through the day today, we're looking at those gusts of around 20 to even 30 miles per hour through the day and into the evening. We take a look at the fire weather risk. Now, this is combining the temperature, the humidity, and the winds. And it's got us within that moderate to high category for many parts of the valley. So we look at the big picture here. And if you look at that spin over the Pacific Northwest into Idaho, you see that spin? That is an inside slider. You may have heard me talk about that before. What that is an area of low pressure, and as it moves to the east and southeast, it can elevate those winds. And that certainly has been the case over the last few days. Now, when we look at futurecasts, we're not looking at much in the way of cloud cover, no showers, no thunderstorms. We just have plenty of sunshine, a couple of afternoon cumulus clouds in the mountains, but that's really about it. And really not even much fog developing along the coast. Look at the high temperatures we saw out there yesterday. In the mountains, gorgeous. Like I said, I went on a hike with my son yesterday for Father's Day. And it was out in the Castle Craig State Park. Oh my goodness, it was gorgeous. Look at the highs in the valley. Temperatures mid to upper 80s to around 90 degrees. For today, actually, maybe even a little bit cooler. Yes, the peak of the cooling trend is today. In fact, we were on the hike and we were passing somebody on our hike and they said, yeah, so today is the best day because it's the coolest. Tomorrow will be warmer. And as I walked by them, I said, actually, tomorrow will be cooler. When I meant by tomorrow, I meant today for Monday. And here you have it. 85 degrees for Reading, 84 for Red Bluff, 85 in Oroville. There you can see 54 for Lassen Park. So yes, you go to the higher elevations and we're seeing those much cooler temperatures. So looking at your 7-day outlook for the valley, all right, so yeah, 85, 84, lovely, right? But that's going to last forever. We're back in the low 90s by tomorrow, mid 90s Wednesday, and we could touch 100 degrees by the end of the week. In fact, getting over 100 degrees and getting rather hot as we go into this upcoming weekend. There's your 7-day outlook for the coast, inland, and Weaverville. Of course, the coast, no big changes, low 60s, but the temperatures are warming up for the inland areas and for the mountains all together. Mount Shasta City, you're back up to about 90 by Thursday, Friday. That's also the case for Alturas, and not to mention Susanville. Let's take a look at some of the cameras out there this morning. You can see, again, those winds are blowing out in Oroville. That's not something you want to see, right? We don't need that, especially this time of the year. Take you out to, oh, it looks like the Main Street Chico camera is not updating. And it looks like that's the case for Neil. I think that's more of my computer. I bet you, if I do this, let's see what happens if I do this. No, it's not updating. I may have to go in there and see what's going on with that. I think the same thing is happening to the Sundial Bridge. No, that's updating. That's as of about 7:16 this morning. So you can see, of course, the clear skies that we have out there. All right, so again, I was talking about how I went on a nice little hike with my son, Castle Craig's Wilderness. So this is kind of that picturesque spot, right? It's just perfect. I'm sure you could see selfies all across the nation with this, right? You got the Castle Craig's sign, you got the mountain behind you. Absolutely gorgeous spot. I got a big smile on my son's face. I was very happy about that because, again, it's hard to get him to wake up early in the morning, especially during summer break. But he was a sport. He woke up, he took a shower, he was ready to go. And I tell you, if anyone who's done the Castle Craig's hike, that is a tough one. That is a tough one. It's just constant up, up, up. In fact, I was checking my watch and it said there was over, I think we saw a 2,300 foot elevation gain during our hike. So it's a good one. And I felt good because he's in great shape. He's young, number one. He's also going to be doing cross country next year at school and was on the track team this year. And he does long distance. So he's in great shape, excellent shape. And I was able to keep up with him. He kept going and going, and I can keep up with him. I was huffing and puffing a little bit, but not too bad. But it was a lot of fun. So I hope you all had a great Father's Day. And I want you to share those pictures, by the way. Father's Day pictures, Mother's Day pictures, your pets, sunset, sunrise, just a beautiful picture. I want to share a new picture every day. And eventually, we could turn it into a contest. So I want those of you who aren't very active to get on the Weather NorCal app and just start sending those pictures in. I want to see more and more, and we're going to share more. And the thing is, if you send one and you don't see it the next day, give it a day or two, because if I have more than 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, I'm just going to show one a day. I'll share it on social media. I'll be sure to, of course, show it on the morning update that I do at 6 o'clock in the morning, and we'll have it there. Have your name. It'll have where it is. It'll be fun. I love it because I just love to see all the wonderful photos in the area. And again, just want to remind you, all you have to do is search for Weather NorCal in your app store, and you're downloading the app for free. That's all you had to do. And there's also an app for Fire TV, Roku. You also, if you have a smart TV with YouTube, just search for the Weather NorCal YouTube page. Subscribe to it. That way it's easy to get to in the future. You can watch the 24-hour streaming there. And on the YouTube app, you can watch my latest video that I've uploaded as well. So that's kind of fun. All right, let's see what's going on this morning here. Good morning from Laureen Blair. She's saying good morning. Looks like the same as coming in from Lynn. Lynn is saying, thank you for the info. I use Watch Duty as well. You know what? There's this new way, and I think I can do it. Let me see if I can do this. Yes, the vMix Social. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go into a web browser. Control V. There we go. And it should work. Maybe not. Darn it. All right, I'll have to play with it more. There's a way that I can show you. Oh, because I need to turn it on, maybe? There we go. Yes, I need to turn it on. And I can. So good. No, I don't want to close it. Okay, good. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Because this is kind of a fun new feature that I've got. Oh, yeah, look. No, wait. Let's see if it updates. It's not updating. Well, bummer. Let me try that again. Tell you what, I'm going to try the link, a different link again. We'll do that. And we're going to go to vMix Social. We'll go open that up. We're going to view it. Well, okay. View queue maybe? No. View all? Well, okay. All right. That was fun. That was a nice thought. Bummer. I'm going to go ahead and close it. Yes. Well, technology, I'm getting it. But there is a way that I can show your posts right there on your screen. But it didn't want to work. We're getting there. We're getting there. I got it to work on Monday, at least behind the scenes. But there must be something I'm missing here for the live stuff. All right. But Lynn is saying, thank you for the info. I use Watch Duty as well. You can also put it in another fire in California. Yeah, there's you can, all the fires in the area, you can find that from. She said her brother is in Santa Clarita, close to the Post fire on the Grapevine. Oh yeah, I heard about the fire in the Grapevine. And it's looking pretty bad over there. Lynn also saying, thank you for including all the best fire sites as we approach the drier conditions this summer. Yeah, it's definitely something we need to keep a close eye on. Good morning from Paradise. It's absolutely beautiful here this morning. Thank you, Rebecca, for that report. It is beautiful. I'm looking outside and we got the beautiful sunny skies. I'm starting to see the trees blowing around a little bit in the wind, and that's not what I like to see. Tracy is saying, good morning. Thank you for all that you do. I hope you had a great Father's Day. I did, as you saw in my picture. For those of you who may be just kind of checking in, here you can see, there's my picture. Had a great time with my son Aiden. I love, he loves going on the hikes. We actually talked about some backpacking trips we want to do this year. So I'm excited about that he wants to do that. And so you'll be probably seeing some pictures in the coming weeks or months of our backpacking trip. We're talking about doing Mount Eddy, and I believe it's called the Lost Lakes, something like that. But he loves hanging out. He just wants, he wants to hike out there, chill for a couple of days. So maybe a 2-night type of deal. Do you add a photo in the comments or somewhere in the app, which I use as well? Yes, Lynn, you just go to the app, scroll to the very bottom, and you can see share your photos, and then it'll direct you from there. It's really easy, and it goes right to my weather computer. Isn't it nice to have loving friends in our great town of Redding, California? I agree. It is. A lot of great friends, a lot of great people with some great information. David Hoffman is saying good morning. We've got Tracy Sackett who's saying, yes, she's saying, Lynn, it's in the app and it's really easy. Yes, that's how you can share your photos. And Lynn's saying, thanks. She'll be sure to check that out. Okie dokie. Well, today is Monday, and we got our Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals, which is proudly sponsored by Cottonwood Veterinary Clinic and Cottonwood Small Animal Clinic. Now, this week's is kind of fun. It's something I recorded a while back, and but did you know there's different types of skunks? You always think of the one that just kind of lifts its tail and it can spray you, all that good stuff. You think of the Pepe Le Pew, all that kind of stuff, right? But there are other types of skunks out there. So Sharon Clay from Turtle Bay is going to tell us more about it in this week's Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals, sponsored by Cottonwood Veterinary Clinic and Small Animal Clinic. Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. And this is, we've been doing this for so long. You would think that I would know all of them, but my memory as I get older is just not so great. But you have other skunks. You have other skunks. And so we've got Squirt.
That's right.
Today.
So we have Blossom that everyone knows,
yes.
the striped skunk.
Yeah.
But yes, we do have 2 western spotted skunks, and this one is Squirt. He's going to come out right now.
Western spotted. So what?
Yep. Come on over here, bud.
Hey, Squirt.
Here
and
he
Squirt
is.
because they squirt
He's a skunk, yeah. Put your hand flat for me. There you go, and he'll come back. Oh, he's going to come back, and he'll just hang out right here with you and me. So Squirt is a western spotted skunk. Western spotted skunks are, flat. There you go. Okay, I'm like the other version of flat. Okay, so these guys are found mainly in the mountains. They're less common than the striped skunks that you're used to seeing down here. And they're, as you can tell, more weasel-like.
Well, and I'm noticing not really staying with us unless there's food. I mean, wanting to go back to their den.
Yeah, well, I mean, he'd kind of stay with us, but he would like go off on because they're just very, very active. They're very much more like a ferret. So they're frenetic or manic, I would say. Like they just don't stay still. So to ask him to just like sit here calmly is not going to happen. So the food is just trying to help him stay with us, like not just run around like crazy.
Okay.
So, because he'll stay basically.
So you say they're found mainly in the mountains. Is that kind of a local thing here?
So there's eastern spotted skunks and western spotted skunks. So these guys are only found west of the Rockies, a little bit in west Texas as well. But they are very, very, very uncommon to see. Buddy, turn this way so the camera can see you. Come here, circle this way. Yeah, or not that way. Okay, so these guys I'm gonna bring them this way. Come here. I want everyone to see you. These are the smallest members of the skunk family, and come all the way up. They are, there you go.
Oh.
And they happen to be, this is lovely, I'm speaking really well today. They are the ones who do the handstands. So he will do a handstand when he gets scared because they're so small. So instead of just making that really bushy tail like you see on the striped skunk, he's going to do a handstand. It's going to make him look big. The tail's going to be up there, and he's going to run around on his front feet doing the handstand, saying, "Stay away.
Stay away. I'll
spray you. I'll squirt. That's right.
Just like all the other skunks you have here, I'm assuming you take out that gland, right?
Yeah, his gland is gone, and these guys are ambassadors. They're the only Western skunk ambassador that we know of in the country that's trained for the show. So they get to show off their amazing abilities and basically just how fast they are.
And it's hard to show that ability of the standing on their front because that's a fear thing.
It is a fear thing. So they'll also do it like when they're playing with each other a little bit, but I have yet to be able to capture it. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're almost out of food, Squirt, so that means you get to go back into your den and you get to say goodbye. Oh, look at that. Okay, hi. What do you do? It's a zoo. It gets crazy around here. Well, thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Squirt. Thank you. What's the name of it?
That's Gidget over there.
Okay, no, thank you.
Yeah, I want to be a part of the segment.
One of these days we'll get to meet Gidget as well. Well, thank you so much, and thank you all for tuning in to Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. All right, so that was always fun. Such a cute skunk, and you know, the thing is, there are so many different stereotypes about animals that we grow up under, you know, just thinking that's the stereotypes. What I love about what we do at this Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals is Sharon is able to take those stereotypes and push them aside and say, listen, here's the reality of it all. And that's what's so awesome about it. We learn that a lot of animals that we should be afraid of and that are terrible, and, you know, like the thing that I hear so much, and up until the point that I knew Sharon Clay, is that it's common for people, if they see a rattlesnake on their property, for them to just immediately kill it, and they're done with it. Sharon's like, no, don't do that. They're part of the whole system. They keep animals out. They keep, you know, mice and all that. And so they're a part of it. So don't let that first instinct be to kill different animals. And I know some people feel differently about that, and it just depends on who you are and all that stuff. But I've been learning more and more about that kind of stuff, and certainly have much more appreciation for all of the animals in the area. You know what? I figured this out. I figured it out. How to put some of your comments on here. So this is fun. So let's start with, I'm going to do this one. I'm going to go that one. And check this out. So what I can do now, I think I can. I go into, see, I'm learning all this. Oh, here we go. I can go in here. Look at that. So yes, Lynn is saying, thank you for the info. And so that's always fun. Then I can take it down. Isn't that fun? So it's something that we'll figure if this is something I can do on a regular basis. But we have got this one coming in from Betty. Betty is saying, Squirt is cute and unusual. I would have to agree with you. Definitely very cute, but one of those unusual things, because you're like, what? Who is that? You know, what's that all about? But that's kind of fun. All right, so I played around with that. Again, hopefully I can get that a little bit more so it's not as, because it does require a few steps for me to kind of get that in there, and that might be very difficult for me to do, but I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do to kind of maybe make the process a little bit easier, so maybe it's just maybe a quick push of the button. Okay, so tell you what we're going to do here. We are going to go right into the forecast now and take you to, of course, our sponsor, which is Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River, say that 5 times real fast. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Let's get into that forecast here. You can see about 63 degrees for Redding. By the way, if you're tuning in, you're saying, well, what about the fire? I've got a bunch on the fire on my morning update that I uploaded at 6 a.m. And I also did a detailed forecast on the fire as well at the beginning of this. So once it's done on social media, you can go back and watch it. And you can also watch Coffee with Krueger once I'm done with it, because I uploaded to YouTube, and you can watch the latest Coffee with Krueger update. So if you want to hear and more about the fire, you can do that by going to the beginning part of this video here. But they're going to see 63 degrees for Redding, 62 degrees in Orville right now, 41 degrees in El Tourist. We look at the headlines. The high fire danger to start the work week, unfortunately, and it'll continue with that red flag warning through tomorrow morning. But the cooling trend, it peaks today. You thought yesterday was cooler. Today will be even cooler by a few more degrees, but the warming trend for the rest of the week with triple digits, but unfortunately still looking at dry conditions. Now, the Weather Service has our fire weather outlook in the elevated category. At least we're not in critical or extreme. Really, what would make things even worse if we did have the heat. But the good news is the heat isn't that bad. but it's just the winds. It's the dry conditions, which is why we have the red flag warning until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, you got those winds coming out of the north at 15 to 20 miles per hour, but gusts upwards of 30, 35 miles per hour, humidity down to the single digits and in the teens. So the winds right now, they're beginning to pick up. They weren't that bad an hour or two ago, but now here, we're beginning to see those winds pick up here in the valley. So we look at the forecast for today, 20 to close to 30 miles per hour with those wind gusts. They subside a little bit here as we go into tomorrow morning, but even tomorrow morning, still pretty gusty. That's why we still have the red flag warning until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Because by tomorrow afternoon, look at the winds. They're not as bad for the valley. Still a bit breezy there along the coast though. And then we take you into your Wednesday morning. Once again, the winds not so bad. Wednesday afternoon, once again, winds not so bad. So we're finally starting to see these winds begin to die down, and that is going to be a huge factor when we're talking about our fire danger out there. But the humidity, yes, very low. We talked about the different types of categories. We're down to the single digits and teens here for this afternoon. Tuesday morning. I wish it was Saturday tomorrow, right? But no, Tuesday morning. We're down to 30 to 40%. So a little bit of recovery back down into the single digits. But I also, again, I want to point out the dry conditions we're seeing here. Now, the fuels aren't 100% there just yet for many of the higher elevations, but we're going to begin to see more and more of those fuels. Why? Because we're seeing those dry conditions in the higher elevations now, low humidity. We're seeing the winds picking up. That's enough to start sucking out the moisture from a lot of that vegetation. And before you know it, we're going to be looking at more fuels in the higher elevations. And that's going to be a concern as we start going into the couple of weeks, next couple of months, right? Then we go into Wednesday morning, still about 20 to 30%. Once again, very dry going into Wednesday afternoon. But again, the key factor for a fire danger is that the winds won't be as strong by Wednesday. So the fire weather risk, yes, we're in that moderate to high category right there, right? And it could be worse though, because if we saw the temperatures much higher, that fire danger would be even higher. Because look at Tuesday. We're looking at mainly yellows, which is putting it in that moderate category. And then Wednesday, mainly that moderate category, as you can see here, but kind of sprinkled in there. So conditions are getting better when we're talking about the fire weather risks. So today, this is just coming in from another forecast office for your fire potential. What we're seeing here is the oranges. The oranges are indicating that higher fire danger. And it's mainly due to the W that you see right there, because of the winds that we have out there today. But as the winds die down, we're getting out of the oranges and back into that moderate risk for your Tuesday. So just a quick reminder for wildfire prevention, don't drive on dry grass. If you're towing a trailer, make sure that the chains that you have for your trailer aren't scraping on the ground, because those can create sparks, which then those sparks can get onto the dry grass. Never toss your cigarette on the ground. That goes without saying. You shouldn't toss them anyways. Use grills on gravel or paved surfaces. So you don't want to have the grill on like a dry grass. Obviously, that's very dangerous. Mow the lawn early in the morning and when it's not windy and dry. So if it's windy this morning, don't mow the dry grass. You want to wait until the conditions are better, and especially early in the morning when it's not windy. Never leave fires unattended, and always properly extinguish those fires. So here's what's going on. You see that area of low pressure right there? You see the spin? That's the area of low pressure. It's basically moving down to the south and east. This is an inside slider. You may have heard me use that term before, but inside sliders are what give us the gusty winds, and that's why we're seeing that. Look at the high temperatures out there yesterday. Upper 80s, mid to upper 80s, and around 90 in the valley. 70s and 80s for the higher elevations. Just absolutely gorgeous with those temperatures, thanks to this inside slider. Now the inside slider, we don't want to thank it for the winds, but we're thanking it at least for the cooler temperatures. That moves out. What's going to happen is that moves out, warmer air is going to be moving in. So we're going to see a warming trend. But here's the thing I want to point out. Notice what's happening. We actually still have a trough of low pressure. Now, as you know, or may not know, troughs of low pressure are typically associated with cooler air that pulls down from Canada. But this time of the year, you've really got to get a good push of cooler air to bring it on down. Now, what we have here on either side of this trough is a big bubble of heat to our west and a big bubble of heat that's creating quite the heat wave in the eastern United States. We're trapped in between, which is a good thing. Yes, it's going to warm up. We're going to be back in the triple digits by the end of the week and this weekend, but at least it's not going to get as hot as it could. We're not looking at this bubble of heat over us, and we're not looking at this bubble of heat over us. We're just looking at the warmer air in place. That's keeping our temperatures up, most likely even above average. But these storm systems have been the saving grace because they've been riding into Canada and even in the Pacific Northwest, and is preventing a lot of this heat from building in. Not entirely, right? Because we're still seeing those hot temperatures, but at least we're not seeing major heat waves. Now you can see that even the storm prediction, the Climate Prediction Center is putting us in that above normal category, and even extreme Northern California in the near normal category. So we're not seeing any major heat waves heading our way anytime soon, but there you can see, of course, it warms up. Normal high for the valley is about 92 degrees. It is warming up over the weekend to 105 degrees, give or take. We can take a look at Mount Shasta and really the mountains in general. Also seen that warming trend going to the end of the week and this weekend. Same story for Susanville, warming up going into the weekend. And even the coast is going to see slightly warmer temperatures, but the normal high is about 62, and that's essentially where we're going to be here for the next 7 days. Let's talk about chances for rain, because there are some chances by tomorrow. Today, not so much, not even seeing much fog along the coast. But by tomorrow, look at this. Here's tomorrow morning, maybe some patchy fog for parts around Eureka, otherwise mainly clear skies. By the afternoon tomorrow, look at this. We're actually seeing some pop-up showers here. Now, am I concerned about it? Not necessarily. We could see maybe even an isolated thunderstorm for parts of Siskiyou, Modoc, and even in the eastern mountains. Now, for now, I haven't set it in stone. I haven't put it in the 7-day outlook. That may change. We'll see. But just something to be aware of, that there may be some lightning strikes here for some of the higher elevations. Then we start to see that marine layer get much more dense by the time we do get into Wednesday morning, and then going into Wednesday afternoon, it may have a hard time burning off entirely. Although you can kind of see it kind of thinning out here in some areas here, so we may see some clearing for Wednesday afternoon. Now, the precipitation outlook, well, yes, it's drier than normal, but normal rainfall for this time of the year is essentially 0, right? So it's when we're talking about drier than normal conditions, it's really not hard to do that, quite honestly. So we take a look at your wave heights going into the next couple of days. We still actually have a small craft advisory for today. We may see that extend on into Tuesday, although it looks like they may back off a little bit with those wave heights for tomorrow. North winds at 15 to 20 knots. There's that small craft advisory I was telling you about. So here's what it looks like for your neighborhood forecast in Trinity County for today. You see how the temperatures are increasing. I think we're going to get up to about 100 degrees even for Weaverville by Friday, and then kind of keeping it fairly hot going into the weekend. There you can see the Highway 299 corridor, temperatures in the mid to upper 70s for those daytime highs. We take you down into southern Trinity County, 73 degrees for Ruth, 76 for Hayfork, and Wildwood about 69 degrees. And for the southern Humboldt County and the North Coast neighborhood forecast for Redway, also seeing that increase in the temperatures. Looks like peaking around Saturday with a high of about 89 degrees. Take you out to Ferndale, Fortuna, and Rio Dell, right around 60, give or take. Also seeing that slight increase, mid-60s by the time we get into Wednesday and Thursday. Let's take you up north. Willow Creek about 78, 76 out in Hoopa, 64 degrees in Blue Lake, and Eureka about 61 degrees. We take you up north with Gas Key about 67, 78 degrees for Orleans, and 62 degrees in Oric. How about your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast? Mid-70s for Highway 96 corridor, I-5 corridor around 70 for that daytime high. Also that increase, we're in the mid-90s by the time we get into Friday and Saturday for Wairika. For Scott Valley, right around 70, give or take, warming up into the 90s by the end of the week and into this upcoming weekend. For central and eastern Siskiyou County, those higher elevations really not warming up a whole lot today. Very nice. Temperatures loaded at 60s there. Upper 60s to low 70s elsewhere for places like Mount Shasta and McLeod. 65 degrees for Newell. Temperatures also increasing for El Tourist when we look at your Modoc County neighborhood forecast, up to the 90s by Friday and through the weekend. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, 72 degrees for Fall River Mills, 70 in Bernie, 62 for Old Station, and those temperatures around 90 on Thursday, upper 90s for Saturday, and around 94 degrees on Sunday. Let's take you out to Lake Elminor and Lassen Park. Wowzers, right? Look at that, out towards the park. Gorgeous. coolish, actually. You might actually need a light jacket if you're heading out there. Temperatures mid to upper 50s. For Chester, a high of about 69, 68 degrees for the peninsula. Let's take you out to Paradise and Susanville with your 7-day outlooks there. Warming up. Looks like in the 90s by the time we do get into Friday, and not to mention through the weekend. Here's a look at your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor. Temperatures today, it looks like a typo. You're probably thinking, are you sure? Yeah, I'm positive. Yeah, it's gonna be cooler than it was yesterday. Low to mid 80s, that is, for your daytime highs in the Valley. Looks like there is gonna be some smoke out towards the city of Shasta Lake. We get some of that smoke coming in from the hidden fire. Otherwise, we're looking at mainly sunny skies. 85 degrees for Redding, 84 degrees for Palisadro, and 84 in Cottonwood. So there's a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding. And you can see those temperatures are increasing. Now, what's interesting about Thursday, there are two things happening on Thursday. Of course, it's the summer solstice. That's the big story. But another exciting story is this Thursday is the 1-year anniversary of Weather NorCal. How awesome is it that the 1-year anniversary also falls on the summer solstice? Very cool. But I'm excited. I'm going to be working with some of the sponsors here, trying to get, I still have to hear from some of them, but you will be seeing on social media many of the sponsors that have supported Weather NorCal since day one and have come on board over the last year. And you will see the many sponsors that support Weather NorCal and keep it afloat. And we're seeing more and more sponsors, the revenue's coming in, and that's allowing me to not only pay the bills, but even more importantly, keep Weather NorCal afloat. And that's what we want to keep doing, is keeping Weather NorCal afloat. But again, just kind of a little side note, because the summer solstice is on Thursday, but also the 1-year anniversary of Weather NorCal. Very cool, very fun. I love it, and I want to thank all of you for the awesome support that you have given me since day one. This has been, kind of like our forecast, temperatures going up and down. Boy, the overall emotions that have been going through in the last year, on these highs, on these lows. Am I going to make it? Am I not going to make it? What's going on? But I pushed through, and we're making it, folks, and we're going to keep making it. David Hoffman saying good morning. We've got Scott saying, is it nice to have friends in California? Of course, we saw that earlier. And Lynn is saying that she loves all of that. Very, very nice. All right, well, we have kind of wrapped up. Here's the thing, I want to do this. Lynn saying, wow, a year already. You've done a great job. And it's morphed into an amazing go-to app. Congratulations. Well, thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that. I'm glad you are enjoying the app. I hope you all are enjoying the app. And in fact, let's take you to a graphic to show you how you can get the app in case you're interested. So this is a free Weather NorCal app. You go to your App Store, Google Play Store, search for Weather NorCal, and you can download it for free. So be sure to check out that free Weather NorCal app. And from there, you can share your photos. All right, so here's what I want to do. I want to open up this because some of you may be coming in wanting to know more about the fires. Of course, especially the hidden fire that's up to the north and east of the city of Shasta Lake. If you have any questions that you have about the fire, let me know. I want to address any questions that you may have about the fire. I'm going to give it a minute or two for those of you that might be watching, or maybe need to log on, because if you're not watching where you can make a comment, you need to get on Facebook or on YouTube where you have access to a keyboard and you can make a comment. Because I want to address any concerns that you may have about the fire. Let's take it to watch duty. Let's see if there are any updates to the fire, first and foremost, and we'll kind of see what's going on there. Still doesn't look like there's any additional updates coming in from CAL FIRE. We'd like to maybe see some updates here, but usually what in my experience, it's usually between the hours of 8 o'clock and 8:30 that we tend to see an update on a fire, especially if they've been kind of working on it overnight, because it takes time for them to kind of gather the data, all that kind of stuff. So that is pretty much what's going on with the fire. So I'm really not going to go into it again because I did go into it at the very beginning. So once again, if you have want to see, because nothing is new now, but if you want to see the latest on the hidden fire, you can, of course, watch this on Facebook. If you're watching it on Facebook, you can go back to the beginning once it's done, and you can watch the very beginning. I also upload a recording of Coffee with Krueger on the website. You can get it from, just click on the Coffee with Krueger section, and you'll be able to watch it there. Of course, it takes a little time. Once I'm done with this, I've got to upload it, but it takes, give me about 5 or 10 minutes. Then it's uploaded, and you can watch it from there. And if there's any new information about the fire, anything that's really important, I will be sure to, like if the fire flares up or anything that's more dangerous and people's lives are in danger, I will be on Weather NorCal Live and make sure that the push notifications from your app are on. Because if I'm going to do a live update, I will send out a push notification before I do that so you can be prepared and know to go to it. So if there's nothing major, new going on, but you want to know the latest that's going on, this is a great resource. And I want to show you another resource that's easy for you. I'm going to take you to the home page of Weather NorCal. Okay? So here you can see, of course, at the very top, we've got our sponsor, Everything Medical, one of our sponsors, one of our many sponsors. But you can also see there's the live stream that's coming in right there. You can also see Coffee with Krueger. You click on that, and that's where you can click on that. That's once I have uploaded this morning's, you'll be able to watch it from there. But see this? It says fire danger. Click on that. Now, what I love about this is it starts with the Watch Duty app, which if you don't have it, I highly recommend you get it if you want the latest on the fires. No other media source, and I mean this, and I don't want to, knock media sources because there's a place for them. I'm a media source. No other media source is going to top the coverage that you're going to get with Watch Duty. Hands down. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You are going to get, they're not perfect like anybody else. They're not perfect, but I highly recommend you check out their app. But the thing is too, if you just want to go quickly and find out more than just what Watch Duty has, I've got other resources. Scroll down. There you can see what the Storm Prediction Center is calling for as far as our fire danger. You scroll down here, you can see the national 7-day significant fire potential, of course, over Northern California. You can see the South Ops, you can see the Eastern area, but you want the North Ops, and that's where it's going to lead you to first and foremost. You can click on the different days. See this? That's for tomorrow. So we're going from high risk from the winds today to more of a moderate risk on Tuesday, more of a moderate risk on Wednesday, and then more of a low risk by Thursday. So you can kind of click through the days there. That's kind of a cool resource. This will tell you where all the fire, the red flag warnings or fire weather watches right there. You can also see if there are any evacuation orders or warnings or watches in your area. Right here is the Genesis project, and you can get it right here from Weather NorCal on the fire page. You can go right to the Cal Fire page, and this is also for the power outages. Now, I want you to remember when you're looking at this image on the website, this is not a live image. You have to click on it, then you have to click out the View Outage Map, and it's going to enter an address if you want to enter an address, all that kind of stuff. You can do that, but you can just kind of scroll through the map and zoom in. You can see that there are some power outages around the hidden fire area, and it looks like it's north of Bear Mountain Road and Dry Creek Road, kind of in that area here as you get towards the lake. So there are some power outages associated with this. So again, I want you to know that there is a great resource for you right here at weathernorcal.com, and you can get all the fire information that you need in one spot. It's that way you don't have to have all these different check marks or links, right, or bookmarks or anything like that. It's all right here, and you don't even have to leave the page because look at this. You see what's happening? You make sure your mouse is in here, and you can check out the page here. You can read the synopsis. You can read all of that stuff. Then you can scroll down here. Again, you don't have to go in. You can click on it. In fact, see how it says source right here? It'll take you to a page, but a separate page. Then you can go back to the Weather NorCal site, and you can click on all of that. So again, I highly recommend that you check it out. Once again, very easy to get to from the home page. Let's take you to the home page. Here's the home page. A couple places you can get it. You can see right here where it says more, fire, weather, and current fires. Or you just click down here and click on the fire danger right there. All right. Lynn's saying, love your app because you put everything fire together on your site. Absolutely. That's the whole point, and that's why I want to make it as easy for you as possible. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of Weather NorCal in general. It's easy for you as possible to get the most accurate and latest forecast for our area. And you can get that from the app, you can get that from the website, you can get that from Roku, you can get it from Amazon Fire Stick, you can get it from YouTube, you can get it from Facebook, everywhere. I am everywhere, folks. I know that sounds kind of creepy, but it's true. I am. The only place I'm not is on the TV airwaves. But I left the TV airwaves for a reason, and we don't need to get into that. All right, so there you have it. That's what we got going on. Thank you all so much for watching this morning. Be sure to check out the latest on weathernorcal.com for the fire data. I'm going to upload this recording here, Coffee with Krueger, onto the Coffee with Krueger page, so you can watch the fire data on that. And there you go. I'm going to leave you with a couple of live cameras, and that is how we're going to wrap up the show this morning, and we'll see you tomorrow morning right here on Coffee with Krueger starting at 7 a.m. every weekday morning right here on Weather NorCal. Have yourselves a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, I need to take you to the cameras. Listen, I tried to wrap it up professionally, but then suddenly I realized I couldn't do that. All right, so we're wrapping it up again. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. on Coffee with Krueger. Have a great day.